All right, so we're another week late, but we're here we are, we're talking about Flash issue 14.
Yep, yep, yep.
And I know it's been a little bit of a week, so we gotta refresh each other on it. But what did you think of this issue? Is the first in the all-in banner.
The best issue of the run.
Yeah, you think so? I felt
I,
more like
yeah.
easier to understand, kind of comprehend at
This
times.
is the kind of Flash that I enjoy reading. Like this kind of stuff. Like, yes, it's pretty trivial. Like the story, like the issue itself is just they're going on a family vacation, but Wally's actually doing something for the Justice League. Like
Yeah, it's
it,
a mission.
yeah, like this is the kind of stuff I read the Flash for, like even if it's not, it is a little bit, there's still quite a bit of dialogue, you still have to read it. But I feel like this is more in line with the stuff that I like from The Flash, like the lightheartedness of it, the family aspect, the adventure, and not just it's just science and math and
Yeah.
cosmic.
Uh my thing about this issue is I think the artist made this new suit look good, but I feel
Yeah,
like everyone draws it so differently that it's like I don't think it's gonna last that long. I think we're gonna go back. Um,
yeah. I'm hoping that this is just temporary, and
yeah,
maybe like after an arc or two, it'll go back to the classic suit. But like and here's what's kind of like annoying because the way the solicitation reads, it's like Wally begun an evolution into a new form, and it's like you're just using a suit that Barry is like. That's what
yeah,
it seems like, right? Like this is a suit that Barry had worked on, and then it just never got finished.
yeah. I did like that moment where he was like, "Oh, I'm thinking of a new suit," and then Barry just gives him a ring.
Yeah,
Um, which
I
it's weird because like even though he has a ring, it seems like he's still making a suit with Speed Force energy, which I always like that. I always like that
yeah,
for Wally. I don't think he needs a ring, but
no, yeah, he doesn't need the ring.
it's kind of like okay. So, um,
And I will say that I at least like the fact that he acknowledges that they're like, where do we get this dog? Like, he's been here all this time, and I just don't know when we got him. And it's like,
I did like that. Yeah,
at
I
least
did
it,
like that.
yeah, yeah. Like, I don't know. Like, if it continues on like this for at least like this arc and moving forward, I might forget about all the other stuff that came before and just be okay with this book. Like it might be fine.
Yeah, I think
Um,
it's a good first step in a new direction. I'm not really familiar with how do you say it? Scutaris.
yeah, I'm not either.
I know that I think it's like a Mike Grell kind of thing.
Okay.
It's a corner of the DC universe I'm not very familiar with. I at first I thought it was a new thing, and then I was like, oh wow, this is goes back far.
Yeah, like it's pretty like obscure.
Have you done any research on this?
I haven't. I
So look at this character,
curious.
Warlord.
I I still think that it could be Savitar. You know what I mean?
So yeah, no, I know how you read that and you're like, okay, but like,
Like even like the first thing is this plane that's crashed, but
yeah. So this character has been kind of around for a while.
this warlord. Oh shoot, yeah, he is.
Yeah, but look at like first issue special, like
Wow.
75. I was like, I've never heard of this. This is some deep cut stuff. But yeah, not familiar at
Interesting.
all with it. So I'm like,
Yeah, no, I mean,
I'm interested though.
there was even a 2009 series.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, some cool artwork. But yeah, just figured I would share that to you and anyone else like kind of
Yeah, that's
confused or
interesting.
curious. Yeah.
I mean, that's not to stop Spurrier from turning him into Savitar. I'm just I'm not gonna let this go until this arc is done and I know that it's not him.
Yeah.
Air Force pilot, leader of a secret weird thing. Like,
Yeah. Um, One thing I wanted to bring up with you that kind of was like, huh, Godspeed being in it
yeah,
early in
okay.
the
I'm glad.
issue.
I'm glad you brought that up because I have a little theory here.
Or what's your theory?
So when Wally like when they're in the prison and he's all like, "Oh, like I used to be in two places at once and now I'm barely in one." Like he's just like stressing, and Wally's like, "Maybe I should like stop and talk to him," but he gets interrupted. Do you think he got Godspeed's power, like the being in two places at once at the end of Absolute Power, and that's why we have two Wallys?
Oh, interesting. I didn't even think that. That I bet you're right. I bet you're right. I'd be willing to bet that you nailed it.
Because it would like it wasn't until like literally right now flipping through it, I was like, at first, like when I first thought about it when I read it, I was like, maybe. But then like I think back to the previous issue when he was like, "Oh, like there's two Wallies," and then like the end of this one, you know how like Irie ends up going into the watchtower and she sees Wally there too, and he's also on what was it, Scartaris? How do you say that? Like with his family, like he Scartaris,
Scartaris. Yeah.
Scartaris. Yeah. Like he's in two places at once, and Godspeed's the only character that I can think of that can do that.
Yeah. Wow, that makes a lot of I think that's it. I think that's it.
I hope so because then it's not like so like again it won't be like this ridiculous. Well, now there's a time displaced Wally, and we got to do on another time travel, blah 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 adventure to get him back to his time. Like, I'd rather it just be something simpler and it's something that he can like
Yeah.
put away when we're done with it.
Yeah. I don't weird. I
What,
felt like it's interesting because when was the last time we saw Godspeed? I'm sure I could find it right on here, actually.
800, no?
I think it was the T's in 800.
Because he,
Yeah, it was in this. It had to have been.
I think so. I think he's in it very briefly, but I don't think that he's like, I mean, either that or it's 7:55 when he dies. But he's had to have shown up before that or after that. He didn't show up in Adam's run, did he?
No, I don't think so.
It might have just been finish line or
Yeah.
whatever that last arc was that he was in.
Yeah. I think 800. Well, I know
I
they teased that Godspeed was alive at the end of Finish Line.
yeah, yeah.
Like I now I'm getting it
Oh
mixed
wait,
up
no.
because I
He was in what was that? The Night Terrors. Shit. The Central City Night Terrors tie-in.
oh
He gets turned into one of the
I didn't
speed
even
bees.
I didn't even read Night Terrors.
It, it's a skip, bro.
Oh no. Damn.
It's a skip all the way through, man.
Yikes.
Like not to like tangent, but like what the hell? Well, first off, what the hell are you thinking dropping a horror event in like June?
Oh yeah. I remember I was like,
Like save it for October, which is when they released the or JL versus Godzilla versus Kong, which should have been in the summer because that movie came out in the summer. It's like, dude, how hard is it to just market your books the right way?
yeah. I didn't even know this
The
was a
Night
thing.
Terrors would have been cool. Like even if it was just like, well, it was a nothing burger event, but at least it was like Halloween and got people excited for scary comics. You know what I mean? Like it would have been a cool
Yeah.
like timing thing, but whatever. It's either here nor there.
Yeah.
Um, okay? What do you think about Linda being all like gung ho about going on this adventure and not really being upset about it? I mean, it's nice. It's nice that we're
Yeah.
not continuing on with this like you're keeping stuff from us.
Yeah, I think we've kind of moved on from that.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I'm glad it's not just drama for the sake of drama, you know?
yeah, for nothing. Um, it's Pilgrim makes a little cameo,
Yep.
which was cool. So that means he's involved with whatever is
I
going on.
I hope he's around for the whole series, like while Spurrier is at least on the book.
I think he will be.
Yeah, I mean, it he's an interesting character. I just I guess I need a little bit more from like what the hell are you doing here, man?
Yeah.
Like you're you know basically your job is done. Like the time stream is fixed, everything is fixed, nothing's a problem anymore. So like what are you still doing here unless you just want to hang out with the family? Like
Yeah.
give
Man.
me a give me an issue all about Pilgrim. That's all about where he's been, what he's done, and what he's gone through.
Yeah, I'm sure we'll get some kind of like origin, I guess. A
Like
little.
does he have speed powers or is he without them? We don't know, huh?
Yeah. I remember my first read of like the issue, I was kind of thinking like, oh, is he the second Flash? But now after what you said, I'm like, oh, I think you're right. I think he got it. So now I'm not even thinking that.
I honestly didn't even I never would have even thought about him being the second Flash, but
Yeah. I
I
don't
don't know.
know.
He's
That's all I
right
can
now
think
he's
of now after you said that. So I'm like, that's definitely
it's
got to
all
be
I've
it.
been thinking about since I thought about it. I was like, how is this gonna work, man? I was like, and then the guy like yeah, looking back at that Godspeed page, I'm like, that has to be it.
Man, you know what? Now I'm thinking about it. How he said, now I feel like I'm barely in one. He's probably feeling the aftershocks of whatever was going on in the previous arc.
Oh
How remember
yeah.
while he was flicking in and out? That dude,
Yeah.
I think that's it. That's probably what's happening. Oh, and that's like the
Sick.
interesting way to kind of like move on from that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I what are they gonna do with him then? Like this if
I
that
don't
is
know.
what's happening, what do you think? I like Godspeed. I just think he needs to be used like sparingly if he's not gonna be like if he's gonna be a villain and you're gonna like if you're gonna keep him to that side of things, like he's not a Eobard, he's not a Zolomon, like he's not somebody that can keep that I think can keep coming back with like continued
Yeah,
success. Like he's one like he was fine in Williamson's run and he got redeemed a little bit and then he had his thing at the end with Paradox and all that. But then like
I
since
felt
then
like he. Oh,
uh,
sorry. Keep going.
he's just been kind of like kicked around. He's not really doing anything. He's just been it feels like he's just been in and out of prison.
I feel like he's kind of more like a Jason Todd kind of
Yeah.
character for the Flash family. And I kind
Yeah.
of liked him in that, and I think that's what Williamson was kind of doing with him. But now with this, I wouldn't be surprised if he's being built up as a villain again, which I'm with you. I feel like he should be used sparingly. Um,
Like
I
I
you
don't
know,
necessarily mind like the flip flop from him because like from the get, like when he's introduced in Rebirth, it's like
yeah,
he's Barry's friend, but he's willing to push the envelope a little bit and willing to kill, whereas that's not a line Barry and any of the Flashes are willing to cross. So it does it puts him in that Jason category where it's like
yeah.
if like there could be multiple reasons why they would be at odds and why he'd be an antagonist, but there's also just as many reasons why that they would work together to save Central City or where whatever the situation is.
I really need to. I know I've been saying this for months now, but I really want to reread Williamson's run.
I
Um,
That's my plan when I start my big Flash read.
yeah. Are you gonna jump into that or?
Yeah, well, I'm gonna do like all the way from Showcase 4 till
Oh, damn.
I'm gonna read all of that up until we get to like Wade because I've read like little bits of like Messner Lobes and Baron like just issues here and there. I've never read all the way straight through.
It's kind of
And then
it's not like essential, I
yeah,
think.
yeah, then that's all I keep hearing. Like and the issues I read are fine. They're just kind of whatever.
Yeah.
Um but yeah, and I have like 3 or 4 copies of that Flash #1 for reasons I couldn't tell you. Um
Um,
but yeah, and then I've read Wade and John's multiple times, so I'm gonna skip that. I'll probably read the rest of that series, and then when Wade comes back for those few issues, and then like up until the end of that, I reread Rebirth when I reread John's last time, so I'll skip that, and then I'll read probably after that, everything up until Rebirth, and then at that point, I might decide if I'm going to do Rebirth again or not. But
Yeah, I've been really thinking about Rebirth a lot lately. How I'd like to
Yep.
reread that because I feel like that'd be the quickest run to kind of get through. Like it's
Yeah,
so digestible. So
yeah, and they're fast. I mean, pun intended. They're really fast reads. Like
yeah,
they're really really quick. I mean,
yeah,
I already know that I'm gonna drag ass when we get past like Flash War and it's all like the Forces stuff. I don't like that part of the
yeah.
series.
You know what's funny? I always think it's so weird how like the Flash TV show just took like all the concepts from Williamson's run that were like not very well fleshed out and tried to like do it themselves.
Yeah, well, like, and it's even funnier when you consider the fact that the first half of that show is basically like Wally stories, but tailored
Yeah.
to Barry. Which okay, fine, whatever. Like, you're not clearly
Yeah.
you're not going to get rid of your main character to for a legacy halfway through the show, which is fine. But like, it just seems like there were a lot of other stories that you could have pulled all of New 52 and
Yeah.
done some stuff out of there. Or like after Rebirth, Brightest Day. Like there are so many other things that you could have done that
Yeah.
have Barry as like the focal point,
Yeah.
but that's just not. And I think maybe it's because the 90s, late 80s was like there's just a lot of really really great stories in there, and it's simple to just use those. I guess it's easy to use those because they're just really solid stories at the end of
Well,
the
it's just
day.
like the definitive stuff, the real like meat and
Yeah.
potatoes of the character.
Yeah.
I mean, I always kind of wish that they just did. And I mean, as someone that loves the Wade and John's run, I loved seeing some of that stuff. But after a while, I
Yeah.
was like, "Ooh, you guys really need to pump the brakes on that."
Like the cicada arc is what gets me the most. Is like
Hmm.
that thing. It's an entire season, and that's like 24 episodes. His arc isn't even that's like 5 issues long, man. Like
Yeah.
it's not that
Oh,
long. And it just drives me nuts because like I really like that story. And then it
yeah.
turns into this 24, 25 issue show of just I'm gonna take your powers and then I'm gonna fly away. And it's like you could actually just run really fast and punch him before he leaves. You could do that. You could do it
Yeah.
before he knows you're there, and then it would be problem solved. But
Yeah.
that doesn't
Oh,
make for I guess it does I would say it doesn't make for good TV, but it doesn't make for bad TV either. It just makes for no TV.
I think they were just they got too deep into the whole speedster formula of it, and
Yeah.
they couldn't break out of it. My brother makes fun of me all the time because of all like the story arcs and all that. Like, oh, I gotta get faster, and it's like, yeah, it is. After a while, it was like, all right, come on, give me something different. Like, I remember even watching the show and was
I
like,
know.
they gotta do something different. They gotta give us the rogues or something because like,
Dude, and
uh,
it was like, oh, and that would have been it would have see that I think that would have saved the show. I genuinely think like if they had brought all of the rogues back and actually put them together as a team and done that for like the last couple seasons, and you have like a rogues war, and then you have like your final face off with Thawne, like instead of lightsaber
oh,
speed force
jeez,
battles, like get the
oh
hell out
no,
of here, man. Just like do
oh,
hey, at least I still have decent Flash content to read. Like this, you know what I mean? Like
yeah, it's.
movies and TV haven't really worked out for us, so we might just have to stick to
I
to
know.
read.
It's just stick with the comics, I think. I don't know. I'm optimistic that James Gunn's gonna give us the Flash that we deserve.
Dude, I just give me a trilogy, man. Just give me a Wally trilogy. Let Barry already be dead.
I saw a rumor that um Flash might be introduced in the DCU through animation first. And I'm
Okay.
like, huh. We'll see. I don't know.
Is it gonna be Born to Run? Dude, could you okay, that would be actually a really great animated show. That would be hella good.
Oh no, dude,
Oh.
don't give me hope, man. Don't give me hope.
And
Oh,
hey, we could do an animated show, Born to Run. You get a young Wally, you get Barry. They're both in it, and then the show could end with Barry dying or he could die in an unrelated event in this universe, and then we just get like a first movie where it's him against the like, he's finally as the Flash. He can fight the Rogues or whatever. A couple of them. We get a Barry Allen returns tease at the end of the movie. You know,
Yeah. All
number
this
two
like
could be
all this
returning
Green Lantern
villain.
stuff kind of has me a little hopeful with like the casting of like they're
Yeah.
gonna get it older. Like, 'cause I'm cool with an older actor being Barry, you
Oh
know?
yeah, 100%, dude. Yeah.
Um,
Because I've thought about this like too many times. Like it would, dude. Like and then sequel, you'd introduced Hunter. Like he could help Wally figure out Barry Allen's identity, and then you figure out a way to give him his accident by the end of the second movie, and then you get a Blitz for the third.
oh man, I don't know.
It would be
But
sick, but they're never gonna do it. It's never gonna happen.
I'd be
Oh.
very curious which Flash comics that James Gunn is familiar with. Because I feel like he hasn't even gotten to that corner of the DC universe yet, but you never know. I
Yeah,
remember like when I saw that he was reading like Grant Morrison Batman, I was like, oh,
mhm. Dude, like
okay.
I like
Because
Grant
that's one of my
Morrison.
favorite Batman runs. Have you
Yeah.
ever read it?
Parts of it.
Oh man,
Yeah,
you,
it's
you
the
gotta
the
check it
the
out.
whole thing is on my Batman reading list. That's
Man,
which I'll be doing that next year. I just it's so funny because like I'll try to get through stuff and I'm like, yeah, I'm cooking. I'm doing really good. I'm gonna get through this series and I'm gonna read the next one. I'm gonna read this, I'm gonna read that. And then something will catch me like off guard and I'm like, well, I guess I'm reading this for the next couple of months.
are you still doing your Thor binge or no? You kind of taking a
Yeah,
break?
it's
Yeah,
been at a snail's pace, dude. I haven't read anything past 400 still. I
damn.
need to. I'm gonna I will probably not be reading anything new, I guess, or like indie or anything else this next month. Well, okay, that's not true. I just I'm about to start Morrison's Nameless tonight.
Oh shit. Okay.
It's 3 issues. It's like a cosmic horror book, but I think it's
Huh.
Image.
I've never even heard of it.
Yeah, I'll definitely let you know how it is when I'm done with it.
Yeah, let me know. I'm
For sure.
all I'm doing for binging is Lee Kirby Fantastic Four. I'm trying to read every
Oh, hell
issue.
yeah. Hell yeah.
It is great,
I
dude. It like
Yeah, I
for
spent last
60s
month.
comics,
Yeah, dude.
it's
I
good.
mean, that's all I hear is like, yeah, Fantastic Four was like the book of its time.
It's just like it it really just feels like the beginning of the Marvel universe.
Yeah.
Um like the crossovers with the other characters in the world, like it just like it's so good, man. Like I love the X-Men, but I'm really enjoying Fantastic Four right now. And I want to read as much Fantastic Four as I possibly can because I'm just enjoying it so much.
Dude, you should check out Ryan North's run. It's really, really good.
I want to because I've seen good stuff.
It's
I need
really
to
good.
I want to read the original because I just am
Yeah.
like this is like the basis for like every run, you know.
Yeah.
It's
I
all
uh
there.
I mean, you read Wade's, right?
I did. I read Wade's. I read um
Hickman's.
Hickman's.
Have you read
Those are like
Slots?
the two ones. No, I didn't read Slots. Yeah.
Dude, it was 0 out of 10, bro. Like I nobody can change my mind. Like not a single soul. You could literally give me a list of reasons why it's a 10 out of 10 and it's still 0 out of 10 to me. Like it doesn't matter. I hate that book. I dropped it after like 4 issues. And then like a couple issues later, they pulled the whole Franklin's not a mutant anymore. And I'm like, Shut up. Like just shut up, Dan Slott. Like nobody
Damn.
just stop it." Like that really like soured me out of it like completely. I was like, whatever, dude, 0 out of 10. I don't even care anymore.
Oh, I want to read. So after Lee Kirby, I really want to check out Burns' run, and then I kind of I don't know. I just
Simon's baby.
yeah no I did see some art, and I watched a documentary of like all the big creators. Like I'll have to send
Yeah.
it to you. Kind of talking about like their interpretations of the characters and how they changed, and like honestly, man, it made me realize like oh I love the Fantastic Four. They're so good.
They're cool, man. Like it and I think I've always appreciated them, but I've never been like, oh, the Fantastic Four. But like after reading, I don't know, like 25 issues of Ryan North's run,
That's
it's
how many issues
they're
he's
cool.
done.
They're great, dude. Yeah, it's like a whole run now.
That's so he's been wow, it's been 2 years.
Yeah. I think there's a giant
Jeez.
size issue. I don't know if he wrote the giant size, but then there's like there
That's
might
insane.
be a one shot or two in there and then an annual maybe.
I can't believe how many issues.
Yeah, dude. And it doesn't seem like there's any signs of it slowing down. It's
Wow.
I don't think it's coming out this month. I think it got delayed, but the next issue comes out in December, I believe.
I haven't been reading any like in
Thor's still banging, dude. Ah, Thor's so good.
I haven't read any 616 Marvel in a minute,
Yeah, man.
and I'm not
I,
really too down on that.
I'm gonna tell you again. I would probably already told you. You need to read the Power Fantasy.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you like X-Men, it is 100% a book for you, bro. It's so good. It might just be the best comic book on stands right now.
Huh.
It's really, really good. It's crazy good. Every issue has got like really great character work. The art is really good. The action is cool. There's like a bunch of world building. Like every issue is just, and there's only three of them so far.
Jam. Oh, here we go. I was like, where is it? Wow, 27 issues. It's so tempting because I want to read like more like modern FF, but I'm like, I'm loving Lee Kirby so much that I'm like, I gotta
And
get through it.
so like it's been a long time since I read anything from that era, like for Fantastic Four. Um, it's still like it's like episodic, right? Like each issue is like a different adventure, like kind of
Yeah.
how the other book was back then. That's literally basically this run. It's basically modernized Silver Age Fantastic Four.
Yeah. Oh,
And it's you get like 24 straight covers of Alex Ross.
I
Just
always think it's funny like when Alex Ross is doing the covers
just the best, dude.
because I feel like, I mean, this might be a little controversial, but I feel like if he's doing the covers, it's got to be like a good book, you know?
I mean, it is. Yeah, that's the truth. He only does covers on good books, dude. Come on.
I love this cover right here.
Dude, I know. Like and it never would have dawned on me that vampires couldn't bite through his skin because he's like technically elastic. So like the
Mm.
fact that Ross just draws these like they're like ri trying to rip his skin off, I'm like, ugh. That's good stuff, man.
Oh, so cool. I know you have to head out.
Oh shoot, I didn't even I literally just checked the time too.
All right, we'll wrap it up. Thanks
We
always,
didn't
man.
really talk. Okay, but yeah, I guess final note on Flash is it's my
Oh yeah.
favorite issue of the run. Not really saying a whole lot considering didn't like the majority of the first 13. I'm hopeful.
Yeah.
This
I
is
we're going in
exactly
a
the
good
kind.
direction.
Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much all I want. I guess I'm half in on this one. I'm mostly in. I'm not all in yet. I'm mostly in.
I think
Give, give rid of this
I,
suit. I'm all in.
I think this would be a good jump. To kind of continue like with all the other all-in books,
Yeah.
I definitely could say you could jump into this and just kind of enjoy it for what it is.
Right. Like, and I feel like reading this one, and if you just picked up this issue as like your first issue of Flash, you don't really need to read that first 13 issues to even know like this what's going on in the story. I mean, yeah, you kind of you get a little bit of backstory with the dog, but it kind
Yeah,
of like says, "Hey, this stuff happened, but it's not important to what's happening right now," which
right,
which I think is good because this book, man, was like in it was either in dire need of a relaunch or a new direction, and this was it, I think. So I'm hopeful that it's going to continue on this way.
yeah. I think it will. I think it will.
I just need to see
But
what JD thinks about this issue now.
yeah, we'll get him on at some point. I think he's been enjoying it lately, so we'll see. We'll find out.
Yeah, I asked him like a couple weeks ago. I was like, "How have you been liking Flash?" She's like, "Yeah, I like it pretty much for like it's pretty good." And I was like,
Yeah,
"Dude, like I need more than that, bro. Like you gotta
yeah.
tell me what you don't like, so I have somebody to talk to."
Yeah.
Everybody else is like, this book is great. And I'm over here by myself, like, I don't really like it.
Yeah. But hey
Uh,
man, always appreciate you coming on,
yeah,
chatting new
thanks
issues with
again.
me.
Definitely.
Um,
Anytime, man. Anytime I'm available, you know it.
and looking forward to the next one, end
Yes.
of this month. Wow, it's gonna be a while.
November 27th.
Yeah.
Hey,
But
oh,
all
we'll get it
right.
in there. All
But
right, man.
appreciate it, man.
Yeah, of course. Catch you later.